I was supposed to be on the maiden voyage for the Sun Princess, which was originally going to be on the 8th of Feb. However, the build is taking a little longer than expected, so the maiden voyage got cancelled. But I did go to Barcelona for a week with my mum. Anyway, that's what we're going to talk about today. So welcome back to Cruising as Crew. My name is Lucy. For those of you who are new here, I'm very happy to see you. We're going to talk about the Sun Princess, the new launch date, how they handled the cancellation. So there's obviously been loads of hype around the launch of the Sun Princess. It's all very exciting. So at the beginning of 2024, I booked myself on board. I was due to fly to Barcelona on the 7th. I would join the Sun Princess in Barcelona on the 8th. And then we would go around the Mediterranean, visiting places like Mallorca, Athens, Kusadasi, etc. And I was so excited. Like, honestly, the ship looks incredible. If any of you have seen the renderings or the pictures, it looks so awesome. However, the build is taking longer than expected, and having worked on ships for so long, I should have known this. Like, when I was setting up the Scarlet Lady for Virgin Voyages, that got delayed by a lot. Obviously, COVID didn't help things, but it was delayed, and to be fair, most cruise ship builds take longer than originally anticipated. And most of the time, if you go on a maiden voyage, you kind of have to go on expecting it to not be completely finished. Like, maybe there'll be some facilities that aren't in use yet. I think actually Jay from the Ship Life touched on this a few weeks ago, and he said how he wasn't too big on doing maiden voyages anymore because they cost so much money and half of the ship isn't actually usable yet. And I completely agree with him. But nevertheless, I booked myself on a maiden voyage and then got disappointed. So I think he's definitely onto something when he's saying about not going on maiden voyages, because yes, it is all so exciting. You're going to be the first person on this cruise ship to see what it's like, but to pay all of that money and then not be able to use all of the facilities, or to pay all of that money and then have it cancelled, it's not the greatest. So maybe I have learnt my lesson. However, I will say Princess have handled it really well. So because I know a lot of people within the cruise industry, I had heard a few days before it was officially cancelled that the maiden voyage was going to be postponed to a later date. But I believe, along with everybody else, I received an email on the 20th of January from Princess basically explaining that the Sun Princess was taking a lot longer to build and it was going to be postponed, and that a full refund would be issued. Now, of course, I expected a full refund, so I got my £1,600 back for 2 people, which I was happy with. But then I was really happy that they went the extra mile. So me and my mum, who were booked on the cruise, were given £400 credit towards our next cruise, which is great, and I have 2 years to use that. So it means that me and my mum can go on a Princess cruise and £800 of it will be covered. So that is fantastic. And then they also offered £200 for every flight that you had booked, because Princess obviously attracts a lot of British passengers. So a lot of people were going to have to fly from England to Barcelona to embark the cruise ship. So Princess basically said they will issue £200 for each flight that you can prove you've booked. So I simply went onto their website, I submitted mine and my mum's flights to Barcelona and then back to England from the end of the cruise from Civitavecchia. I got reimbursed for those flights as well. And I had booked these flights independent of the cruise. It wasn't like a package deal. The flights were completely independent from the cruise booking. And as I said, they were given £200 per flight. I didn't pay £200 per flight, so I'm actually quitting, which is fantastic. So I got a full refund, I got my flights paid for and some, and £400 per person towards my next Princess cruise. So I was very happy with how they dealt with it. The cheeky thing is I had my flights paid for by Princess, but I didn't cancel the flights. So I did obviously cancel my flight back to England from Civitavecchia, but I kept the flight to Barcelona and the hotel, the 1-night hotel that I had booked in Barcelona the night before I was supposed to join the cruise, and took that flight to Barcelona, stayed in that hotel for the first night, and then got an Airbnb for the rest of the trip. And me and Mum spent 5 days in Barcelona seeing the city, which some of you may have seen on my Instagram. So we went to Montjuic, we went to the Gaudi houses, we obviously saw Grande Familia, Las Ramblas, we ate a lot of tapas and had a lot of sangria, and it was just amazing. And you know, the funny thing is, summer of 2022, I was on Virgin Voyages the Valiant Lady, and our embarkation port was Barcelona. And going there this time just made me realise, like, I really didn't make the most of being there every Saturday, because I didn't go and see the Gaudi houses. I did go and see Sagrada Familia, but I didn't go at Montjuic. I didn't go to the beach. I really didn't make the most of it, because I think when you work on a cruise ship, you obviously have the time limit aspect. So it was really nice just to be in Barcelona for 5 days and just stroll and not have to worry about getting back to the ship on time. So anyway, the maiden voyage of the Sun Princess starts on the 18th of February. Of course, it is fully booked, so I will not be going on it, but I have a few friends who are working on the Sun Princess, and it's looking like it will all be finished for the 18th. So if you are watching this and you are going to be on the inaugural cruise on the 18th, then you are in for a treat. I believe that everything will be finished and ready to go, which is fantastic. So sometimes it is a good thing that the cruise line does the right thing and delays the build. I mean, sometimes they don't have a choice, but sometimes they just want to get everything completely finished. So hopefully when you go on the 18th, it will all be spick and span and you will have the best cruise ever. And I am very jealous if you are going on the 18th. It's going to be amazing, and hopefully I will get on there at some point during this year. I'm sure I will. But it wasn't supposed to be on the 8th of Feb. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions about the Sun Princess, about Barcelona, about anything, leave them in the comments and I will get back to you. I hope you have a fantastic rest of the day, whatever you decide to do. And as always, I will see you in the next video.